Happy Monday, y'all. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you're in great spirits. I hope you're mentally ready to have a great week because it's going to be a great week. It's going to be a great week. And I'm wishing that for myself and for you all as well. So this is part 2. I gave custody to my son's father. And I know I just gave my perception on how I gave custody to him, like what led up to me doing that. But I just wanted to speak on it briefly before I start my day. I just worked out. I'm sweaty and I look a mess. But yeah, I gave custody to my oldest son's father. And I wanted to talk about that a little bit more about how that came about. Me and my son's father, we discussed it when he was younger that it would happen because we knew we just wasn't going to get back together. So we discussed it. And of course, I reneged on it a couple times because me and my son's father, we wasn't on good terms because I was bitter. I was a bitter baby mother because deep down inside, I still wanted to be with my son's father. And deep down inside, he just wasn't doing what the hell I wanted him to do. Uh, and that's just the truth. Um, and so that was like, that was like maybe 6 or 7 years ago that I had that kind of attitude, that I had that mentality that if he wasn't going to bow down and do what the hell I wanted him to do, I was going to make him suffer. So no, you're not getting custody of your child. No, no, no. But I kept going through life and I kept working on myself, and I kept going through battles and challenges and stuff. And I went through this great awakening like 3 years ago that life wasn't supposed to be how I was living. I was miserable. I was sad. I didn't have peace within. So I went through this great awakening about 3 years ago, and me and my son's father, we still really wasn't on great terms. We were cordial, and we were co-parenting as best as we could. And so during that great awakening, I started working on my trauma. I started working on the heartache and the pain that I had went through personally, and I started changing how I treated myself. I started having standards for myself. I started setting boundaries for myself. And I just started loving on me. And you know, I reflected on how I was previously living and where it got me. And it didn't get me far at all. I just wasn't happy and satisfied with myself. And so, I meditated a lot. I started working out. I started eating right, like really loving myself, really taking the time to get to know myself all over again, like just uncovering all that pain. And I sat in pain for a long time. I sat in my darkness. I got still and I got by myself and I unplugged from the world, social media. And I got to a point where I was just watching videos to help, people heal from trauma, like Iyanla Benzens. I watched her and she helped me a lot. I'm not even gonna lie. Like her episodes, I watched every last one of those episodes. And, you know, I sat in the seat of the people who went through the interventions. And I sat in their seat. I positioned myself in their position, and I acted as if Iyanla was talking to me. All the questions she asked, the people who went through the interventions, I answered them honestly. And then I cried through everything, and I loved on myself through that pain and that time that, I was unraveling and revealing those traumas to myself. And I apologized to myself. And I told myself I was sorry for the things that I put myself through, and that I was going to make a change for myself so I can be the best healthy version that I could possibly be for me and for the people around me. That's exactly what I did. I went through a healing journey. I did a lot of shadow work, and I spoke on shadow work, and that's just looking at your flaws, looking at your character, and looking at, the outcome of the flaws and mistakes I had made. And I had honestly told myself that everything I did was my fault. Everything that I went through with my baby's dad, how I conducted myself with that relationship, caused a lot of self-inflicted pain on me. And so, I just started getting real with myself, started telling myself, like, you got to do better. And so I started choosing better. And I started to make honest decisions, because when you're in pain and when you're suffering, you're blind to the honesty. You're blind to what's best for you. You're blind to making, or you're not able to make healthy choices that's going to benefit you. And so that's where I was in my life 3 years ago. I was in so much pain, heartache, and misery. Like, I marinated in that a long time, because that was my comfort zone. I was just used to the pain, the hurt, and the suffering. That was my comfort zone. And that was the only way I knew how to operate it. I didn't know how to operate and manage from a healthy state of mind. And so when I got real with myself, I did some shadow work. I did meditation, healing meditations. And I started to progress. I saw progress. I started to progress and, started changing when the mind is changed. When you change your mindset. And I still struggle with it, because, the ego be trying to come up out of me. And, you gotta just silence the ego and make head over heart decisions. I did that. And then, I reflected on how the relationship with my baby dad was. It was rocky. It wasn't stable, because we refused to see each other's point of view. We refused to take into consideration how the other person, felt, because we were so self-absorbed. It was the ego. We made everything about us and our feelings, and not once thought about the next person's feelings, thoughts, pain, and their suffering and what they were going through. And so after I did my shadow work and my healing, and I started working on me, I was able to show compassion to my baby's dad, the same compassion that I gave myself when I was going through my healing journey. I was able to give that to him. I was able to be lenient with him. I was able to really honestly view where he was in his life and say, dang, he's really going through some things and he's really suffering. Let me give him the time and the space he needs to improve in the areas in his life that will help him to become a better person and the best father that Jayden needed. And so that's what I did. I bagged up. I just stayed out the way so my baby daddy can sort out his problems on his terms, not my terms. It wasn't, it got to a point where I was just um, so sympathetic towards him. And I felt so bad that I treated him the way I treated him. Because I never took the time out of my day to even consider what the hell he was going through. And so when I took a step back, I said he needed time. I told myself he needs time. Like, he's going through some things, like, and what he's going through in his personal life is affecting him overall, not just with, his parenting, but it's just affecting him personally. And, my heart ached for him because I knew what it felt like to suffer in silence. I knew what it felt to suffer and not know how to dig yourself out of a dark hole. So I backed up. I gave him time. I didn't call him. I didn't text him. I didn't curse him. I didn't nag him. I just gave him time and space to work through his problems on his own terms. And that lifted weight off of him. Like, he already got multiple issues he's dealing with, and I'm just another damn problem. I'm the 99th problem for him out of everything he's going through. And that just put so much pressure on him. And that made him sink even more. So I felt like, let me alleviate some of this pressure that I'm putting on him, because it's not helping him. It's not helping him at all. And I did that. I backed up. And that gave him the time and the space to think through his problems, to deal with his problems, to face his problems, to overcome his problems eventually. It took a good 2 years. After the first year of me, just disappearing, getting the hell out the way, out of his way and out of my way. Because I was standing in my own way of keeping him and Jayden from establishing a relationship, and even me and him having a healthy relationship. I was standing in that way because of how I treated him. And when I did that, when I stepped back and I just let him deal with it on his own, a year passed and he started showing up. Maybe not even a year, but he started showing up. I'll be sitting at my desk and hadn't heard from him in weeks. And the weekend come, he's like, I'm coming to get Jay. It wasn't where the hell you been? You should have been getting Jay. Like, you don't get no time off and this and then the third from parenting, but it was necessary. It was necessary. He needed that time off more than I did. And that's a huge sacrifice to have that type of understanding, that type of, compassionate. That's a huge sacrifice that mothers, we don't know how to, we don't know how to make, because we're so self-absorbed and we didn't make the baby on our own. So we shouldn't take care of the baby on our own, but it's a team effort. If you need time, then you take time, and I'm going to hold it down. And Jayden gonna be all right. Our child is gonna be all right whenever you're ready, because you need it more than I do. And of course, we get tired. These children work our nerves. It's always something with school, doctor appointments. They always hungry. They always growing. But if we wasn't built to be in these positions that we are, we wouldn't have to experience them. It's just written in our essence. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it was just what the universe had planned for us. Period. Ain't no other way else to put it. So instead of fighting against it, work with it. work with your lessons. Don't fight your lessons, because I reaped a lot of karma mistreating my baby daddy, not just disregarding what the hell he going through. Once upon a time I loved him, and I still have love for him. And so, me being honest and understanding that I do still have love for him, how can you treat somebody like that? And that was only because I had some trauma that I had to uncover. And once I uncovered that trauma, y'all, and I was understanding, and I stepped back. He was showing up. He was showing up to events, and my baby daddy lived like 20 minutes away from me. He was showing up for events. He was picking Jaden up from school. He was just doing what he was supposed to do without me even telling him, without me even nagging to him about it. He did it effortlessly because I took a step back and I was just coasting and I was just being cool about everything. I'm cool with you coming. I'm cool with you not coming. I'm cool with you showing up. I'm cool with you not calling. I'm cool with you paying child support, and I'm cool if you ain't. And I feel like that made him more willing to be involved. And so, fast forward, last year, Jayden had an incident. And I told my baby daddy, I said, it's time. No, it was the 7th grade. It was the year before last. Jayden was supposed to go live with his dad his 7th grade year. But some things happened with his dad, and they just wasn't ready. Him and his wife wasn't ready. I was ticked off. I ain't gonna lie. I was ticked off. Because you said you was ready, but you ain't ready. But I was cool about it. I was just like, all right, whatever. Because I've been doing this. I've been managing. So I'm not even gonna get myself worked up. I'm not gonna stress about it. Whenever you're ready, cool. So last year, Jayden had an incident, and I told his dad, it's time. And we talked about it, He talked to his wife about it. His wife agreed, yeah, he needs his father. And so the incident occurred. Me and his dad had a really deep, long conversation about it. And then the summer passed. Jayden went to go stay with his grandmother, his dad's mother, in Florida for the summertime, like he always do for every summer. And then when he came back, his dad was like, okay, we about to make the move. So we went to the courthouse. We petitioned the court. It was a mutual petition. He paid for everything. He paid for the court fees, documents, and all that. And we got it done. He bought Jayden a bed, dresser, TV. I got the clothes for Jayden for school. He got the supplies for Jayden for school. It's a team effort. But we're not going to be able to get on the same path with each other when both of us are struggling mentally. Somebody got to get it together mentally. Somebody got to be mentally stable. Somebody got to be understanding. Somebody got to be kind. Somebody got to be somebody got to do it. Mother or the father. And, we did that. And it's been going smooth. I'm happy. I can be even more happier. I miss my child. I cried 2 hours when he left. But his dad is what he needs. I've done all I could do for 14 years. I have to let his dad step in and do the rest. And show him and groom him into being the man of the house. Groom him into knowing how to, be a leader and not a father. And I already groomed him with that. But it's just certain things that mothers can't do for sons. It is what it is. And so I just wanted to come and share that experience with y'all about how I actually went through the process of, my journey with being a single mother and up until now giving custody to my son's father, because he proved that to me. I trust him with my child. He proved that. He showed up. He supported. He was there emotionally and physically, and then he agreed to take on that responsibility. And I'm so grateful for him. But I'm going to cut this video. I may be back with some more insight on parenthood, co-parenting. But in the meantime, in between, y'all be good to yourselves and be kind to others. I'm out. Peace.